And just over 1 million people early voted in the state of Georgia, and that shattered records for early voting. And that does sound like a ton of people, but that still leaves about 6 million registered voters who haven't cast a ballot.
Now, today's your last chance to go ahead and get out. In the key state primary races, of course, there are local elections as well. Our morning reporter, Naomi Washington, is at a polling location in Macon to give you a little bit of guidance of how today will work. Good morning.
Hey Connor, hey Megan, good morning. It's kind of ramping up here at the location that we're at. Polls open in less than 30 minutes now, so what we're seeing behind me is just the workers. Now, when you come out to vote, you only need your ID with you. Polls open at 7 a.m., they close at 7 p.m., and as long as you're here by 7 p.m. in line, you'll be able to vote. The election supervisor for Macon-Bibb County told me that early voting brought out a steady turnout for this year. Nearly 12,000 people in Bibb County voted early. Many came out to the Macon Mall location like Lillian Mosley.
It was so easy. It took me less than 5-6 minutes to get checked in and register to vote.
Mosley says the governor's race and Bibb Board of Education race mattered most to her. To people who think their vote doesn't matter, here's what she had to say.
Voting does matters because that's why we are where we are right now, because a lot of people didn't go and vote. And I think it's very important to know that your vote do count.
This has been an especially busy year for the Macon-Bibb Board of Elections. Election Supervisor Thomas Gillen says this primary marks the 5th election held in the county this year because of special elections and runoffs. Now that Election Day is here, Gillen says there are a few things voters should remember before heading to the polls.
The only thing you need to bring with you is a photo ID. Most people use a driver's license.
But voters can also use a passport, military ID, or public school or university ID. Because this is a primary election, you'll have to pick a Republican, Democrat, or nonpartisan ballot.
Some states make you register by party, and so you don't have a choice. Georgia, fortunately, is not that way, so it's called an open primary.
Gillen says turnout has been strong so far, but he still hopes more people show up to the polls before they close tonight.
So we encourage you to do your research, figure out who you want to vote for, then come out and vote.
Just so you know, the Macon Mall is not an open polling location today. They have a lot of other polling locations here in Bibb County, and you can find the one that's assigned to you by going to the Secretary of State's My Voter page. Since it's Election Day, you have to go to the one that's assigned to you. I'm live in Macon, Naomi Washington, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, thanks so much, Naomi. Just to reiterate, the polls open today at 7 this morning. They're going to stay open till 7 p.m. tonight. Make sure that you show up with a valid form of ID.
And if you have an absentee ballot, do not mail it in. It's too late for that. You need to take it to your polling location by 7 tonight so that it will count. Now, the big race to watch for on your ballot is the one for governor. This is a primary, so you do have to pick a political party's choice, like Naomi said. These names on your screen are the 8 Republican candidates vying for your vote. Of those 8, they will face a Democratic challenger. Right now, there are 7 candidates running for that spot. We sat down with many of the leading candidates, and you can watch those full interviews anytime on 13 WMAZ+.
Now, we know there are a lot of races on your ballot, so here's a look at what each one of them does. Like we said, at the top of the ticket is that governor's race. That's the state's chief executive with the power to sign or veto laws, help set the state budget, and lead Georgia's response in an emergency.
Also important is Lieutenant Governor. That race presides over the state Senate, and it can have a big influence on what bills move forward under the Gold Dome. Another key race, Attorney General. That's Georgia's top lawyer, representing the state in court, advising state agencies, and handling major civil and criminal cases.
The Secretary of State race is also important. That office oversees elections, voter registration, business filings, professional licensing, and securities regulation.
Also, depending on where you live, your ballot may have races for things like Congress, State House, State Senate, judges, county commission, school board, and other local offices.
Yeah, so speaking of local races, here are some of the ones that we're watching tonight. In the Macon area, you'll vote for judges on state court, civil and magistrate court, the Superior Court of Macon Judicial Circuit as well. You'll also choose Bibb County School Board members like the Post 7 chairman and post 8 at-large seat. There are races for the Macon-Bibb Water Authority chairman, as well as the District 1 and District 4 seat as well.
Over in Houston County, you'll vote for county commissioners. Today, you'll also pick Houston County school board members, plus judicial races for state court, judge, and solicitor general.
Now, these races are not part of the primary, meaning whichever candidate wins here will be elected tonight unless someone gets less than 50% of the vote.
Now, if that happens, then the top two will advance to a runoff. Now, election night is almost here, and when those results start coming in tonight, you can count on us here at 13 WMAZ. We're going to track the big races and break down the key issues with our political analyst, Christopher Lawrence. Scan that QR code on your screen. It'll show you how to download 13 Plus on your TV. Be sure to stream with us tonight starting at 8.
For everything you need to know ahead of tonight, text the word VOTE to 478-752-1309. We'll send you a link to our election guide right to your phone.